dive into today's conversation with the Big Fish Show. I want to also welcome all of my streamers from all around the social world, from LinkedIn to TikTok to Instagram, Facebook, etc. And I just want you to know that the On the Pond brand and mission really is about unlocking the entrepreneurial potential in people and places all over the country, especially right here in Omaha, Nebraska. And so that's why we launched the Big Fish Show. We've had some incredible people really show up. It's been super dope, and I'm so glad to have you. So hey, we're going to get into today. Today really matters. If you want to call into the show, you can call in at 402-409-0876 to engage me in this amazing conversation that we're going to talk about today. You know, just a couple days ago, Black people from all around the country and all of our allies, we decided to show some solidarity in what we call the blackout. And I love that because when you take your dollars and we collectively decide that we're going to refrain from, spending our money with companies that don't really have any vested interest in our well-being, big box companies that have, profited in a powerful way from Black folks. And so here we are, we rallied and we said, hey, let's choose to refrain and then take our dollars and put it in Black businesses. And I think that's novel. I think that's super dope. I think that's amazing. My question always becomes, or it's always, what's next? We talk about solidarity and we talk about the blackout, and I think it's great because it gives entry-level people, especially young people, a way to involve themselves in civics, involve themselves in, the economy, capitalism, building wealth. And in Black communities like ours, I'll keep it I'll keep it a buck. Like, we talk a lot about Black wealth. And I've been in conversations previously, and I hear someone will ask a question, and then the response will be, okay, what would it look like if we do A, B, and C? And that always tells me when people lead with what it look like, they haven't actually built what it looks like. So even as we locally here in Omaha begin to cast our vote for city council and for mayor, if I'm going to give you a precursor to how you can vote on top of making sure you do, this is a part of entrepreneurship, on top of doing your history on the candidate, on top of looking at what they value, what have they also built? That's why I'm super blessed to bring the Big Fish Show to you by way of 95.7 The Boss. If you're watching me socially, make sure you download the app 95.7 The Boss. Maybe you're out and you won't be able to catch me. Download the app and you can catch the Big Fish Show there, or you can catch me on radio. But when you talk about, when people say, what does it look like? And I want to encourage you, if you're listening by radio, text your homegirl, your homeboy, and say, hey, turn to 95.7 The Boss. Myron talking about the blackout, and it's kind of controversial. If you're watching me socially, hit the at followers in the hat and the at highlight and say and comment below. He's about to talk about something controversial, because my soapbox is this: whether it's abuse of police authority, whether it's mispractice in a candidacy or whatever it is, at the end of the day, you have to watch and be careful and to evaluate what comes out someone's mouth when they talk about what would it look like if, right? So we talk about wealth, but the real question is, where does our money go? Where does it go? And more importantly, who is truly reinvesting in us? And when I say Yo, the blackout is a super dope approach to solidarity and bringing everybody on board. Let me give you a couple insights as to why the blackout is great, but the next step of building up is even greater. When you talk about the black dollar, one of the things I recognize is oftentimes we don't do business with one another. And if we do business with one another, hello, somebody, if we do business with one another, and I tell you, hey, my business coaching fee is $250 an hour, and that there's room for negotiation because I often operate on no doesn't have to be the end of the conversation. It could be yes or let's negotiate. There have been times when I've had conversations and folk will be like, oh, that's too high, or this, that, and the third. And I wonder, is that the same response when you're attending a business coaching summit or a service, a workshop on business, and it's not free, or a conference? And we have to use some critical analysis around this, because what often happens in Black culture is this: America, we fit in two camps, Black or white. And this all has to do with economics. If I fit in the Black camp, then, and again, I'm using some generalizations, but if I fit in the Black camp, then when you buy from me and it doesn't match your level of understanding the value that one can create, and then there's some discrepancy on, oh my God, like you too high, or dog man, like can you, like, man, you tripping, or whoa, 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 whoa. All of a sudden we create unnecessary tension between us, because you can jump, because you know you're in the Black construct. It's okay to criticize how much I charge. But then when someone who doesn't look like me, or look like you who have a business, and you're trying to provide a service or product to the community, and you get flack by it, understand that it's not just the person that you're getting flack from. You're getting flack from the mindset that says that what the filter by which I deem what you offer is valuable is based on the social construct that I'm working from. So if I'm saying, yo, Myron, I want to get some business coaching, and you say, oh my God, like 250, my question to you is, what construct are you allowing in your definition of that construct? Are you allowing to keep you from recognizing that your next level is in my coaching? I'm just using that for an example. So the idea of doing business with one another is so important, and yet it's a struggle. Even though Black folk have $1.6 million, I'm sorry, 1.6 trillion in Black buying power. Okay, so it's not that we often have an issue of doing business with one another. And Myra, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the blackout and how it's a great starting point, but how we need to move towards building up. But if we're going to build up, Black folk, allies and allies alike, we have to recognize some of the culprits that are keeping us from building up. And one of it is our inability to acknowledge value. Hello, somebody. In what we have to offer one another. Now, listen, I get this. People can be outlandish in their product prices and service prices without considering inflation, without considering the current climate in our culture, without considering gas prices and chickens. Shout out to Mighty Hands Barbecue, who did a really good job at hosting at the Pull-Up District at Intrigue yesterday. Super amazing food truck vendor and super dope. Love you, big dog. My man Curtis. All right, so listen. So it's not just that, we got to get over this hurdle of doing business with one another, but let's also look at the percentage by which we do business with one another, and contrast that with where we spend our dollars. Because what I want to propose to you today is going to be a powerful opportunity for you to indulge. And I'm not going to talk about what would it look like. I'm going to give you what would it look like. I'm going to give you an opportunity for us to step into this, and this amazing, beautiful opportunity for William King and 95.7 The Boss to allow me to host the Big Fish Show, to get this information to you, to get it to you. Black folks spend about, when you look at our disposable income, we spend like 95% with the majority. How is our perception of the majority keeping us from investing in ourselves? Is a great reflection question. And I'm not here to bash anybody. I think it takes everybody to solve the economic issues in our society, but I think Black folk got to lead it. So if my disposable income, if I look at it collectively, Black folk, we are spending about 5% of our disposable income on other ethnic groups, and only 2% of our disposable income with one another. Now, this is interesting. I'm a math guy, but I'll let you, if you're listening by radio or social or catching this later on the app or on my social streams, Myron Pierce Official, Myron Pierce, or On the Pond, do the math. If Black people have 1.6 trillion in Black buying power, we spend 2% with one another. Now, let's take that 2% that we spend with one another and ask ourselves, well, how long does that dollar that we spend with one another last in our community? How long does it circulate, my people? How long does it circulate? Well, let's put it like this. In the Jewish community, it's 21 days. In the white community, it's 17 days. In the Black community, it's 6 hours. So the money that we're spending with one another, it's only staying for freaking 6 hours. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? It didn't stay. It went out. And when you think about 1.6 trillion in Black buying power, how much of it circulating? The reality is that too many businesses, watch this, profit off of us without even giving it back. And so if we're talking about like not the blackout and not buying for a day, we have to recognize the realities of what we have. That if we're not going to buy for a day, then how are we going to allocate this 1.6 trillion in Black buying power? And then how are we going to keep it here? I'm going to propose to you a few different ways. And I'm not against boycotting, but we must go beyond boycotting into business. If we boycott our dollars, we have to have a strategy on how we're going to reallocate those dollars so that we can build wealth. Here's a key statement that I don't want you to miss, and it's this: if we don't control where the Black dollar goes, we'll always be fighting from behind. And fighting from behind keeps us from obtaining and entering into ownership. I just don't want somebody to give me a fish sandwich. I just don't want someone to show me how to fish. I want to own the whole pond, because if I own the whole pond, that means I now have every opportunity to make sure that the next generation is set up to win. Set up to win. So here's my question for you. Do you think the businesses we support actually support us? Now, this is crazy, because I know you're about to get all maybe Black power on me. Oh yeah, no, those people, they don't. Hey, listen, a lot of my listeners are Black, brown, white, right? It's gonna take all of us, because we could point the finger at who don't support us, and then my number one big question is: are we supporting us? And the data tells us we only support one another 2%. And then that 2% that we're supporting one another from our disposable income is only being circulated in our community for 6 hours. And then it's going outside of our community back into another community. So do you think the businesses we support actually support us? I'll give you an opportunity to call in now. I want to give you an opportunity to call in now, 402-409-0876. Because, as we move on in this conversation, it's very, very important that we understand who's supporting us. Who is it? Let me ask this question again, and I'd love for you to join me. I'd love for you to call in. You can call in right now. Call in right now. Here's the question. Do you think the businesses we support actually support us? And when I say us, I'm not just talking about black folk, because my question is, do we support we? And I think this is a perfect time to segue into a big shout out to Stacy Honeycutt of the Essential Gathering Place and the Essential Gathering Shop. This woman is so amazing. She's been a staple inside of our community for as long as I can remember, especially in how she is empowering our community to think about the very subject matter that we're talking about right now, speaking about doing business with one another. This woman actually creates, sustains, promotes expos right here in Omaha, North Omaha, Nebraska, expos for the black dollar, for us to do business with one another. And the reason why I'm promoting her, you who are listening by radio, watching by video, I promote her because she represents. And the reason why I'm highlighting her is because when someone is succeeding at something, let me put it like that. When someone is succeeding at something, you and I have an obligation to ask ourselves one of two questions. One of two. Dang. Why they being so blessed? Why is popping off for them like that? You see the spirit behind that? Or perhaps, what can I learn from them? And as I look at this powerful woman, as we talk about doing business with one another, what percentage of disposable income we're allocating towards our own people so that we can build collective wealth that we can pass on to our kids, and making sure that we keep the dollar inside the community. Keep the dollar inside the community. She embodies that. And as I said earlier, if we don't control where the black dollar goes, we'll always be fighting from behind. And the reason why I'm promoting Stacy Honeycutt and the Essential Gathering Shop, where local entrepreneurs can place their products for the community to come and buy. Think about that. And then she has another location where the community can host events, run their business. She runs expos, offers free opportunity to people for space if it's going to benefit the community. That's what it's all about. So as I segue into this next segment, what's beautiful about Stacy Honeycutt and what she's doing with the Essential Gathering Place and the Essential Shop, I want you to Number one, if you're viewing by video, social, I want you to at Stacy Honeycutt and even follow the Essential Gathering Place and the Essential Shop, because she represents doing business with one another, increasing what percentage of our disposable income we spend with one another, and deciding we're going to be a part of the solution when it comes to keeping the dollar inside the community. Shout out to Stacy Honeycutt. So let's get into this. You know, Myron, you spent the first half of your time talking about how we're spending our money, how long it's staying, what percentage. Then what are you proposing? What are you proposing, Myron? Well, I'm proposing a solution. And I think it's going to be game changing. And listen, what I'm proposing is on the back of the economic plan that I've been learning in the sandbox of my own community for the last 15 years. And just to give you some backdrop before I get into where we can go, ever since I can remember, I've been an entrepreneur. I might have been hustling backwards. I might have been indulging in activity illegally to get the bread, which was only the evidence of a broken system that has been designed to keep us from thriving and accessing opportunity and leading to ownership. I didn't say people, I said systems. And if we create systems like that impose themselves on our communities, then we adopt mindsets that keep us from collectively working together. That is why. That's why this conversation needs to be had. Right? So when I look at how I've added to the narrative of owning the pond and et cetera, et cetera, I've been on this journey because I was thinking about this one day. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a woman how to fish, feed her for life. And it never really stuck with me because I felt like there was an opportunity that I was missing, that was behind the curtain, that wasn't shown to me, that only people who are elite were privy to the rest of this formula. I felt like that, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And finally, in an aha moment, I realized, oh my gosh, you have to show people how to own the pond. We have to help people spot unlocking their potential through entrepreneurial mindset so that they can see opportunity, lean into it, actualize it, own it. So this journey when I got this Selah moment, it did a lot for me. You know, and as I've been a leader in the Omaha community and different places across the country, specifically in Omaha, I found it a burden to me that there's this untapped potential everywhere, but we're not accessing it and we don't see opportunity. Because we don't see it, then we can't access it. And I've been on this journey about that and this aha moment of owning the pond. And years back, I moved to Colorado Springs and went out there to start a faith organization. Year and a half into that, ran out of money, decided what in the world am I going to do? And I put on my best suit, borrowed $100, got on Google, went to the Secretary of State because I was strategizing based on what I had in my house, what I can do to make sure I had some livelihood. So after looking around, I saw that. I saw a suit. I saw some Dawn soap. I saw a Kirby vacuum. I saw a garage. I saw a driveway. And all of a sudden, I put all those things that I saw, all those observations, I put them together into a big picture. And when I put them together into a big picture, I came up with an idea. Oh my goodness, when you were 16 and your cousin Fast was trying to keep you out of, prison and jail and gang banging, and he showed you a skill, Myron. Take the freaking skill and flip it into a business. So I did. So I put on my suit, registered my business, went down to the local dealership and said, "Hey, my name is Myron Pierce. I'm the owner of Front Range Detailing, baby. Front Range." I'm in Colorado Springs at the time. Omaha native though, North Side, baby. Project, baby. From the projects all the way to profit. Come on, somebody. So I go down there and I give this man a firm handshake. My name is Myron Pierce. I am the CEO of Front Range Detailing. First time I ever called myself a CEO. That's just a side note for the black family, the black community, the black diaspora. You have to watch out what you call yourself, family, and my allies. You got to watch out what you call us. All right. So I'm down there and I'm making an impression on this dealership dude, and I'm like, "Hey, my name is Myron, and I'm the CEO of Front Range Detailing." And what's beautiful about this is all of y'all right now, if it was a reality show and you were watching me on episode 1, season 1, episode 1, and you were seeing this as I'm forming this LLC, borrowing $100, looking at what I have around, you would be like, "This dude is crazy." Put on a suit, go down to the dealership, talking about he is CEO. Nobody works with him, for him, nothing, right? And you're talking about you're the CEO. Yes, thank you kindly, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You know why? Because I wanted to be a part of solving the problem that I was having and how it would affect my family. You know what? I got my first contract. And my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth, my sixth, my seventh, my eighth, my ninth, my 10th. And guess what? I started hiring people from the community. Young people. I had 12 people on my staff. Front Range Detailing, baby. Front Range Detailing. Front Range Detailing, baby. Right? What was I doing? I was building a business that was supporting the community. And then I went on to partner with another organization to invest in them. And then we started connecting with workforce development to partner. And we started connecting with the Regional Business Alliance. This organization, right? This organization, the company that I'm talking about actually ended up becoming an organization, a nonprofit that I morphed into what we call now Thrive Networks. You see what was happening and what was evolving? What was evolving is that I was building mechanisms that would support an infrastructure of reinvestment and transformation in communities like Southeast Colorado Springs. So we can't talk about it, we have to actually be about it. So here's and I share that with you. Here's why I want to share that with you. That business turned into a six-figure bigger business with employees that was blessing the community. We were doing business with one another, keeping the money inside of our ecosystem by building partnerships with other local businesses, organizations, and nonprofits. And all of this is leading up to, as I tell this story, as I know you're like, "Okay, dude, can you get to it?" The reality is and I want to repeat myself, is that we talk about wealth, we talk about all these things, we talk about blackout, but I want to provide us a tangible way to not just black out, but to build. And that story is the perfect setup to talk about like how that one breaking point of running out of money led to a whole model across the country and different cities, Omaha and Colorado Springs and Kansas City and now South LA, that we've built what we call urban opportunity zones. And these urban opportunity zones are very, very important. And I believe that these urban opportunity zones that are now being built and have been built and are continuing to be built could lend itself to what I want to talk to you today about, that I'm going to implement into the zones that we are already currently in, as I said earlier. You know, I created what I call the Black Economic Index, the Own the Pond, powered by Own the Pond, the Black Economic Index. And here's what it's designed to do. It's designed to rank businesses based on what they actually do for our community. Why is that? Why is that important? Because if we can rank what businesses are actually doing in our community, we can look at the employment, who they're hiring. We can look at how they're spending their money. We can look at how they're solving problems, why they exist, right? All these things that they're doing for our community. And the thing that I love about this index that I'm talking about, okay, it breaks down the BEI, the Black, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so freaking excited, but the Black Economic Index, I believe, is a solution. Addressing 5 key areas that are important. I'm giving you what I am working on right now. And if you click in the link on social, or if you're listening by radio, head over to Myron Pierce or Myron Pierce Official on Facebook, Instagram, et cetera, or on the app of 95.7 The Boss. The Business Economic Index addresses 5 areas. And these 5 areas help businesses and communities understand who's actually doing the work to make sure that we're moving the ball forward as a Black community. We can't just subjectively say that we are if we're going to build wealth. We have to recognize where are we currently. And I don't want to rely on anyone outside to do the work. That's why On the Pond is doing the work. So the Black Economic Index is covering 5 key areas. Number 1, hiring. And here's the key question on the index. If you click the link below, you can take the index for free. Does this company, do they put Black people in leadership positions, or is the person leading the company in an urban community Black? It matters. Second has to do with spending. Do they buy from Black-owned vendors and supplies? I have an idea behind that. That's a strategy to continue to grow our economic value here as Blacks in North Omaha and beyond. We'll get to that later. Thirdly, reinvestment. Do they give back to Black communities? Fourth, consumer focus. Do they serve and respect Black customers? Fifth, cultural integrity. Are they authentically supporting Black culture or just exploiting it? You might say, Myron, hey, this sounds like the majority. No, I'm talking about us as well. This is for us. The Black Economic Index is for Blacks, it's for majority and minorities alike. Why? Because we have to know where we are if we're going to grow this economy. We're going to see prosperity in the Black diaspora. We're going to see prosperity in thriving communities and urban communities. And the call to action for us here, I just launched the BEI form. I just launched it. No talk, baby, all walk. Not waiting. Just launched the BEI form for businesses. And it's designed to get them ranked right now. So listen, if you own a business or you know someone that should be on this list and you're listening by radio, head over to social. Email me. This is us at onthepondnetwork.com. I'll get you the link. Because here's what I believe, or here's the question that I want to ask you. That's important to this form getting out. It's important to the Black Economic Index, because I'm going to take that index and I'm going to post it for everybody to see who is making an impact. So here's my question. What Black-owned businesses are really making a difference in our community, in our city, whatever city you're in? I want you to shout them out, because I want to send them this link. I want to send them this link because I want them to take it. I want them to take it. And as they take it, the goal then for for this is for us to use it as an initiative to continue to support and enhance what we're talking about when it comes to building economic vitality in Black communities. I'm trying over here. Let me see. So here's the question. What Black-owned businesses are really making a difference in your city, in my city? I want you to shout them out. All right? And then we're going to just take a short break. Going to play some music from my brother Jesus Little Brother. If you're listening by, watching by social, listening by radio, check him out, Jesus Little Brother. Hopefully I can get this going. Jesus Little Brother here, y'all. Yeah. Jesus Little Brother. Yeah. Jesus Little Brother, y'all. Like some things just never change. Yeah. Ain't it strange? How we cause our own pain. We also cause our own gain. I like to soak in the rain. No training seemed pleasant at the time. In fact, it seemed really painful. Let's try to see a different angle. That he don't get what you can't handle. Have you forgot this word of hope? Don't worry about tomorrow, cause tomorrow worry about its own. Love your enemies, pray for those who want you dead and gone. Ask the what begin to search, and you will find. Will glorify your Father if He lets your light shine. My identity in Christ, in the Word I find mine. You a God, child of the Most High. There's power in your faith. It don't matter what stage. I just wanna be great. Never lose my faith. Seem like some things just never change. I just wanna be great. And never lose my place. Seem like some things just never change. Praise the Lord the way you wanna praise Him. Yeah. I ain't waving my hands. I'm in the tough man stance. Till I feel the spirit move. And He tell me to dance. Now I'm all in the trance. I can feel it from my feet all the way to my hands. Make it cry sometimes. No matter how big the man, His glory cover the heavens. His praise fill the earth. I can't wait to be fully me. After the curse, when He reshapes the earth. I ain't be the highest mountain. I ain't counting. And I ain't tripping on no fake nigga. Really, I need more time to get my life together. I know you see those signs. They be all in the weather. If you have grown to know the light, you can leave. And you can leave. It's some people together and build a team.
by the spirit, illustrate. I just wanna be great. This is Kiara Marche, and you are listening to 95.7 FM The Box. 95.7 The Boss. Yeah, I'm trying to play a song. Can you feel the vibration? Standing on a firm foundation. Yeah, raise the vibration. Run it up, get it up, ayy. Get to the bag and fill it up, ayy. Push it up, rip it up. Tear it up, burn it up, manifest all of it. Answer the call of it. Raise the vibration, I hope I spoil it. Take a little break and get back to boiling. Feeling on another level, charged up. Never underestimate how deep the roots can dig them up. Papa showed me better than he told me, man, I'm living proof. Manifest reality, I promise I'm the living truth. I'm blessed, can you feel the vibration? Standing on a firm foundation. Yeah, raise the vibration. I'm trying to blaze on. Can you feel the vibration? Standing on a firm foundation. Raise the vibration. Said I'll rise up like a phoenix out the ashes. Seen all of my scars and know that history is tragic. Imagine past my limitations, they call it magic. I call it manifested. I call it man I'm blessed with. Everything I wish I had when I was adolescent. I see the bigger picture now. I'm passing all the tests. They asking all them questions, harassing and arresting. I'm just blazing up, trying to fly out this dimension. I'm trying to blaze on. Can you feel the vibration? Standing on a firm foundation. Yeah, raise the vibration. I'm trying to blaze on. Can you feel the vibration? Standing on a firm foundation. Yeah, raise the vibration. I'm trying to blaze on. Can you feel the vibration? Standing on a firm foundation. Yeah, raise the vibration. I'm trying to blaze on. Can you feel the vibration? Standing on a firm foundation. Yeah, raise the vibration.
Yo, 95.7 The Boss. Your boy is back. Hold on real quick. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that, y'all. A couple technical difficulties, but check this out. I know I've been talking a lot in this conversation that we're having on going from just the blackout to building up is necessary, and the Black Economic Index ideally is going to help us ask the question, what businesses are investing back in the community through their hiring, spending, reinvestment, consumer fees, consumer focuses, cultural integrity. You know what I'm saying? Right? And the thing I need y'all to understand. Hold on real quick. My people saying they can't. There's my people saying they could hardly hear me. My people saying they can hardly hear me. If you can hear me out there, call in. Let me know. But the Black Economic Index that I just launched is a forum for businesses to get them ranked. And the question then is this: what Black-owned businesses are really making a difference in our city? And the reason why this matters is it's a call to action to accountability. It's a call to action to ownership. It's a call to action to economic power. So here's what I need you to do. I need you, if you're listening by radio, head over to any social, Myron Pierce Official, Myron on Facebook, or DM me, or send me an email. This is us at onthepondnetwork.com, right? And say, hey, Myron, send me over that Black Economic Index. And here's also what I'm working on. I'm working on building a website where businesses can come to get ranked, and not only get ranked, get badged, certified, so that when people come to their website, they know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this business is listed on the Black Economic Index, and they're about their father's business. They're about building urban opportunity zones. They're about owning the pond. Right? So what I wanted to do in today's episode was, number one, highlight some of the issues. Doing business with one another, right? Doing business with one another. Our black dollar only staying in the community for 6 hours, only spending 2% of our disposable income with one another. What's the answer? What's the answer, Myron? The answer is urban opportunity zones that are supported by the Black Economic Index, that allows us to say, okay, what businesses are making an impact in our community, and that being able to have a point system that I'm building, that I've already built, that's already accessible right now, around 5 areas: hiring, spending, reinvestment, consumer fees, and cultural integrity. And no, you don't have to be black, because we need to know how our black businesses are dealing with and doing business with one another, right? You need that. So I'm going to be having a conversation with you over the next couple of weeks on strategies to engage this conversation even more. So here's what I need from you. I need you, and I think I might have this here if you're watching socially, to check that QR code that is on the screen now. And if you want this QR code, I can send it to you if you're listening by radio. And it's going to take you straight to the Business Economic Index form if you are a business owner. And it's going to help me build the index, get that back to our community, and hold businesses accountable, and allow our community to see which companies are rising in these areas. Right, Myron, what areas are you talking about? I just said it, y'all. You got to listen. Hiring, spending, reinvestment, consumer focus, and cultural integrity. Why? Here's why. Because if we can get businesses in our community to see that controlling the black dollar inside is important, and using a tool like the Black Economic Index to rank those businesses on what they're doing in the community, would move us forward, because it would allow us to trust again, allow us to gauge and measure our impact as we launch companies. So if you're a business owner and you say, Myron, I'm not even a business owner, but what you're saying is, I want to be on that index, I want to be a part of that. Well, come join me this Wednesday at Match. Match is mentoring and coaching help. It's free. Free mentoring and coaching every single week at 10:30. 2123 Pierce Street at Intrigue. Come see me. You don't even have to schedule. It's a straight walk-in. You say, hey, Myron, yes, I want to start a business. And maybe you're watching, you say, Myron, I really have not, if you're an ally or if you're a black business owner, you say, Myron, I really haven't been using my business to make the impact that I can make, but I want to, and I want to be on that Black Economic Index as a premier business owner. Can you coach me? Yes. DM me right now. Call me right now, 402-409-0876. Because it's important. You might say, Myron, hey, I'm looking for funding. great. Go to ownthepondnetwork.com and join the grant list. On the Pond has just launched a grant that is opening this week. It's opening this week. Join the wait list today. It's opening this week. Okay? So here's how I want to land this show. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. I want your feedback. DM me, email me. Tell me what you think about this. Because it's going to take all of us working together. Now, if you want to be a sponsor to this show, it's growing quickly. The viewership is growing. People are trying to get on the show. Sponsors want to jump in, and I love it. If you want to be a sponsor of this show, email me right now. Call me right now. I'll send you a sponsorship package. You say, hey, Myron, I want to get my business out there for ads. Let's do it. Maybe you're an artist or a musician. I played Jay Keys. I played Kier Marche. I played Jesus' Little Brother on the Strength. Because they're my friends. They're my friends. So all resources can be found on ownthepondnetwork.com. Go to the form on this live right now. Scan the QR code. Take the BEI. If you're watching by radio, DM, email, or call, and I'll make sure I get it to you. This has been a fun show. And my hope is that you'll join me next week, not by yourself, but with somebody else, on the Big Fish Show. That's all about being dedicated to unlocking the entrepreneurial potential in communities like Omaha, Nebraska.